While out watching the northern lights in rural Sweden, this woman's mother decided to take a photo. At first, it looked like a beautiful capture of the sky, but when they looked closer, they noticed something creepy. Beneath the glowing aurora, a dark human-shaped figure can be seen in the image. What makes this especially disturbing is the location. They live far outside any town. There are no nearby footpaths, no trash bins, and no reason for anyone to be walking past their property at night. The photo wasn't zoomed in. Whoever or whatever appears in the image would have been just 1 or 2 meters away, close enough that they would have clearly seen someone standing there in real life. But they didn't. The image was later shared on Reddit, where viewers debated possible explanations, yet no clear answer has ever been confirmed. So who, or what, was standing there beneath the northern lights that night? A group of young girls recorded a video while testing a camcorder they had received as a Christmas gift. They decided to film inside a nearby tunnel. But while filming, one of the girls suddenly became scared after seeing something inside. It isn't clearly visible on the camera, making it difficult to tell what she saw. So what frightened her? Do you see anything? A group of friends were enjoying a day out on the water, casually filming as they swam and relaxed near their boat. At one point, a young man climbed back on board after being in the water. Nothing seemed unusual at first, but the camera captured something they hadn't noticed at the time. Just behind him, a hand-like shape briefly rises from the water. The shape doesn't look human. The fingers appear webbed, suggesting something aquatic rather than a person. The footage offers no additional context, and nothing else was seen or heard that day. Whatever surfaced behind him remains unexplained. A man was driving through a wooded area at night, an area he wasn't familiar with. But while driving, he saw this. A human-shaped figure stood by the road, wrapped in white cloth. The figure remained completely still, facing the road, which made the driver assume it was a prop, maybe something meant to scare people. In the comments, some suggested that figures like this are often used to scare animals or warn strangers, similar to scarecrows or markers. But without context, the sight is deeply unsettling, almost as if it were a real person standing there. A father and son visiting a medieval castle in Kent, England, noticed something strange after reviewing their photos. John Wicks had taken his 12-year-old son Harry to Ensford Castle to help with a school history project. The pair spent time walking through the ruins, taking photographs to better understand how the castle once looked and functioned. At the time, nothing seemed unusual. But later, while looking through the images at home, John noticed something weird. In the background of one photo, a dark human-shaped figure could be seen standing. The figure appeared to be wearing what looked like a long black cloak or robe. Neither John nor his son remembered seeing anyone dressed like that while they were at the castle. Curious, John began researching the site's history. That's when he came across local legends describing sightings of a black monk connected to Ensford Castle. The story dates back to around 1130, when the castle was first built. According to folklore, a monk once lived or sought refuge near the grounds and was later said to haunt the area. Over the years, visitors have reported seeing a dark, robed figure near the ruins. Skeptics suggest it could be a shadow, a trick of perspective, or pareidolia, the brain interpreting shapes as familiar forms. Still, the resemblance to the long-standing legend left John unsettled. A TikTok video reportedly sent from Japan shows a young man playing football while another person records him. As the camera pans toward a nearby bridge, a pale woman becomes briefly visible. When the camera returns to the same spot moments later, the woman is gone. There is no visible path where she could have walked away or hidden. Viewers debated whether the figure was a passerby or something unusual. Or could it be staged? Reddit user Jacob Abraham was off trail outdoors when he noticed a large animal in the distance. At first it appeared to be a bear, so he took out his phone to record the sighting. But as he filmed, the creature's movement and shape didn't fully match that of a bear. Unable to identify it, the Redditor asked a friend to review the video, who suggested sharing the footage online for others to weigh in. Some commenters believe it looks like a hunter, while others say it might be Bigfoot. When Michelle checked their home security camera one night in a remote Appalachian area, they saw something terrifying. Take a look. A pale, human-like figure entered their property, moving in a very strange way. Who was this, and why were they there in the middle of the night, in such a remote location? Nothing made sense, and the footage left them horrified. They reported it, but no clear explanation has ever been found. Reddit user AbleAssumption4566 was letting his dog outside late at night when his parents' dog, sitting on the porch, suddenly started barking uncontrollably towards the woods. Moments later, his own dog joined in. Something felt off, so he began recording the tree line and decided to move closer. That's when he noticed several shapes watching him from the darkness. At first, he assumed they were deer. Deer often stand still and observe. But as he got closer, they didn't react the way deer normally do. They didn't run, they just watched. It wasn't until he threw a large rock near them that the figures finally moved deeper into the woods. He captured nearly 2 minutes of footage from the encounter, later pulling this frame from the video and brightening it to see what was really there. Whatever was watching him that night didn't behave like normal wildlife, and that's what still unsettles him. A woman was driving along a quiet forest road at night when she spotted a deer blocking the way. She stopped just in time and avoided hitting it, but as she got closer, the deer remained completely still. She tried several times to scare it away, yet it didn't move. The scene started to feel unsettling, almost as if the deer was trying to lure her out of the car. Then, suddenly the deer ran off, and so did she. Now viewers are left wondering, was it just a confused deer, or something far darker? Maybe even a mimic. A farmer set up a trail camera near his cornfield to monitor possible wildlife damage during the night. While reviewing the footage, one image immediately stood out. In the middle of the field, a tall figure appeared to be standing among the crops. The farmer initially thought it might be a scarecrow, farm equipment, or something left in the field. But to be sure, he checked a daytime image taken by the same camera from the exact same position. In daylight, the field was completely empty. There was nothing there that could explain the figure seen in the night image. Confused, the farmer shared both images online, asking others what they thought it could be. While some viewers found the image unsettling, there may be a simple explanation. Looking closely at the night photo, small drops and light artifacts can be seen across the frame. It's possible the figure was nothing more than a raindrop or moisture on the camera lens, captured at just the right moment, creating the illusion of a standing shape through pareidolia. In July 2021, a man and his girlfriend were hiking along the Lover's Lane Trail in Olympic National Park near the Salt Duke River. While enjoying the hike, they noticed something unusual in the distance, a dark figure. It was too far away to approach, and after watching it briefly, they assumed it was likely a fallen tree or a shadow and continued on their way. Later that day, the man reviewed the photo he had taken and decided to run it through Google's image search. The result surprised him. Google's AI suggested that the image appears to show a blurry figure that is widely believed to be Bigfoot. Curious, he shared the image online to get opinions from others. Most viewers weren't convinced. Many pointed out that the shape lacks clear features and could easily be explained by distance, lighting, or natural objects blending together. In the end, this appears to be a classic case of pareidolia, where the brain interprets vague shapes as something familiar. A TikTok user named Phantom Freak Official shared trail camera footage recorded deep in the woods at night. The clip was found the next day while reviewing the recordings, which shows a figure moving across the frame smoothly but unnaturally. After the clip spread online, viewers shared different theories. Some believe it shows a ghost due to its faint appearance and gliding movement. Others suggested it could be a cryptid linked to forest folklore. Or is it some sort of glitch? A woman named Ella went out for a walk at night in her neighborhood. As she passed a house, she noticed something leaning against the front of it. She started recording. It didn't move, and the shape didn't look human. Ella felt there was a real presence there, not just a Halloween prop. But how do we know for sure? While hiking, unusual tracks were discovered on a 35-acre remote property near Cherokee Park in northern Colorado. The prints measured about 16 inches long, with a stride of roughly 2.5 feet. The property includes a cabin that's usually abandoned during the winter, and heavy snowdrifts often block access roads. This year, however, the mild winter made reaching the land possible, allowing the tracks to be noticed. Nearby footprints left by the visitors provided a clear comparison between human tracks and the mysterious prints, highlighting just how unusual they were. The hikers couldn't help but wonder, was it Bigfoot? A woman named Troya shared this dark footage recorded on her family's property. In the distance, a figure with reflective eyes can be seen. According to Troya, the figure appears every evening at the same time. It remains at a fixed distance, never approaching the house, only standing and facing the property. Because of these repeated sightings, the family avoids going outside during that time. After researching similar cases online, Troya believes the figure may be a skinwalker, though the possibility that it's simply an animal can't be ruled out. A man began noticing a disturbing pattern in his dog's behavior. Because of his job, he often came home around midnight and went straight to bed. But every single night, without fail, something strange happened. At exactly 2 a.m., his dog would begin howling. The sound was intense enough to jolt him awake every time. After several nights of the same behavior, the man decided to find out what was causing it. He installed security cameras around his home. The very next night, just after 2 a.m., the howling started again. And this time, the camera captured something. A dark shape appeared near the edge of the building. The timing was impossible to ignore. The dog wasn't reacting randomly, it was reacting to that figure. The man couldn't identify what the shape was, but the coincidence raised an unsettling question. Do dogs sense things we can't? In 2022, this image was shared online by a hiker. The person who took the photo couldn't see the figure's face and wasn't able to identify it. It didn't feel safe to get any closer, so he took the picture and moved on. The body shape appeared unusual and didn't clearly match a bear or any known ape. Some viewers suggested it could be Bigfoot, but that doesn't seem to fully fit either. No solid explanation has ever been confirmed. The image remains unidentified. What do you think? A hunter was sitting quietly in his stand on a fall day when, instead of the usual animal sounds, he began hearing strange noises nearby. He started recording.
I'm out here, my back against the wall, really. I've been hearing some crazy stuff out here. The hell with it, come out here and record. These things are smarter too. They're real smart, like, real smart. I'm on the ground, I'm by my tree stand where I had the encounter last time. It was right here behind that trees where he kept pumping out before.
When he shifted his position to get a better view, the figure vanished.
There's something Whoa, whoa, guys, right there. Right there, guys. What the... And it moved. It moved. Holy... I knew it. I knew this because I had this gut feeling, man, that I was being watched when I come out earlier.
The hunter later mentioned that the area is known for similar reports from other hunters, though the exact location was never shared. For now, it's just another mysterious Bigfoot video. One night, an urban explorer entered an abandoned building to document its interior, recording each room as he moved through the structure. In one room, he noticed something terrifying. Someone, or something, was there. It stood in place, swaying back and forth, showing no reaction to his presence. He stepped away, but curiosity drew him back moments later. A pale figure draped in old, tattered fabric emerged from the darkness and moved toward him. No facial features were visible. He immediately fled the building, unsure of what he had just encountered. Late one night, a security guard monitoring railway cameras noticed something deeply unsettling. On the screen, 3 faint human-shaped figures appeared on the tracks. 2 stood on the left side, 1 stood on the right. The figures were pale and indistinct, with no visible facial features or clear details. For several moments, the shapes remained visible, unmoving except for subtle motion. No trains had passed, no people were reported in the area, and no technical issues were found with the cameras. To this day, the guard has no explanation for who or what appeared on the tracks that night. Could these figures be connected to something tragic that once happened along those rails? The owner of this photo said he and his wife were camping in the Catskill Mountains and took dozens of pictures during their trip. When the photos were developed, one image stood out. In the background, a figure could be seen standing there. Neither he nor his wife remembered seeing anyone or anything in that spot when the photo was taken. So was it simply perfect timing, capturing something ordinary from a strange angle, or did the camera capture something that they couldn't see? In the 1970s, a snowmobiler was riding near Fort McMurray in Alberta, Canada, when he entered a narrow cut and noticed a dark figure in the snow. He stopped and took this photo using a 35mm camera. The film was later developed and enlarged at a professional studio, which was standard at the time. The image shows a medium-sized, dark bipedal figure. To this day, the snowmobiler has no idea what he captured, but he's fairly certain it wasn't human. A father took a photograph of his daughter while visiting the grounds of Tamworth Castle in Staffordshire. At the time, the image appeared completely normal, but later, while sharing the photo with family, something strange was noticed. In the background, 2 unexplained figures could be seen. Neither the father nor his daughter recalled seeing anyone standing there when the photo was taken. Tamworth Castle is no stranger to strange reports. The site has long been associated with accounts of unexplained activity. Local legends even link the castle to a nun said to have lived there in the 9th century. Whether the figures in the photo were pareidolia or something connected to the castle's long history, the image only adds to the mystery surrounding Tamworth Castle. On a snowy evening, a man living in a remote wooded area heard unusual sounds outside his home. He was familiar with the local wildlife, but this noise stood out. Take a listen.
Take it a little bit.
The recording captured sharp, high-pitched screeches coming from the woods, growing louder and clearer over time. Some listeners compare them to the whooping noises often mentioned in Bigfoot reports, while others suggested it could have been elk. The man, however, was certain it wasn't anything he recognized. This video was shared on YouTube by 2 Salvadorian truck drivers known as the Adventures of Horse and Chaco, who document strange moments during their travels. The footage shows a very short figure calmly walking from one side of the road to the other near the Seco Canal in Honduras. Its size and movement caught attention and led many viewers to connect it to local folklore. In the region, legends speak of small humanoid beings said to wander rural roads at night, often appearing briefly before vanishing without a trace. Online, the video sparked debate between those who believe it shows something genuinely unusual and others who think it looks heavily edited. A Reddit user shared a photo taken by an in-law during a hike near the coast of Georgia. It was a normal walk, no rush, just enjoying the scenery along the trail. At one point, she glanced off the path, and that's when she noticed it. Standing just beyond the trail was a dark figure. When the image is zoomed in, the figure appears to have a rounded head, a thick neck, broad shoulders, and legs that seem to bend inward in an unnatural way. What makes it even more unsettling is the color. Compared to the surrounding trees and vegetation, it doesn't match the tones you'd expect from a stump, shadow, or fallen branch, making it difficult to dismiss as part of the landscape. And Georgia has a long history of reported Bigfoot sightings, particularly in rural forests and coastal swamp regions. So was this nothing more than a trick of light and perspective, or did they truly capture Bigfoot? Reddit user Cheese Salami was fishing in a small creek when a large brown bear suddenly appeared on the opposite bank. The two locked eyes at close range. Instead of moving away, the person kept filming, afraid that any sudden movement might provoke a reaction. The bear then stepped into the water. Then, the video cuts off. What happened next is unknown, but the Reddit user clearly made it out safely. How? No one knows. Every morning, Reddit user Boundless Vulture walks past a small body of water. One day, he noticed something unusual. At first, he thought it was a head with a bag over it, but as he got closer, it looked even stranger. He couldn't approach it since it was in the center of the water, so he posted a photo to Reddit, hoping someone might recognize it. Commenters pointed out that it resembled the creature from the Black Lagoon, a horror movie from 1954. So it was likely just someone's joke, though still pretty creepy, if you ask me. On January 10th, 2026, Squatch Watchers uploaded a trail camera video submitted by a viewer. The recording was taken somewhere in the US, though the exact location was not shared. The footage shows a large figure walking across a forested area and disappearing into dense vegetation. The video is blurry, a result of the trail camera's limitations and digital zoom. Even so, the figure's body shape is visible, with a large head, broad shoulders, and noticeable upper body movement. But like many other Bigfoot videos, it's too blurry to be certain. A short video with no known origin was uploaded to Reddit. The footage shows a husband and wife foraging outdoors, digging into the ground, likely searching for a large root. At first, the scene appears completely normal, but as the woman climbs out, she is suddenly thrown backward down the hill. Many viewers initially thought she slipped. However, when the video was slowed down, her jacket appears to be pulled, as if something pushed her off. Fortunately, she wasn't seriously hurt. Still, the cause of the fall remains unexplained. A woman was visiting family in Vermont during the winter. At one point, she stepped outside to collect firewood from the nearby woods.
Wait for it.
She suddenly ran back inside and refused to go outside again that night. The next morning, she went back out, and the figure was no longer there. She later shared the footage online. Some people commented that it was just a cutout, while others believed the figure slightly moved its thumb. Do you think this was staged or something real? A group of teenagers were hanging out at a local park when one of them noticed something strange in the sky. At first, it looked like a cluster of white birds, or possibly butterflies, moving together in the distance. But as they watched more closely, something didn't add up. The movement didn't match either birds or insects. Instead, the object appeared to have multiple wing-like shapes moving at the same time. To this day, there's no clear explanation for what they witnessed, leaving one lingering question. Was there a natural explanation hiding in plain sight, or did they capture something truly unexplained? And for more encounters like this, let's watch this next video together.